Take your marks.
So away we go here in Singapore. Some of the finest triathletes in the world ready to go through a world of pain over the next few hours to see who will be crowned our T100 Singapore champion. Up first, 2 kilometers of the De Boer swim course in the fresh water of Marina Bay before the athletes make their way to the first transition zone. The conditions, put simply, are absolutely brutal. A water temperature of 30 degrees, an air temperature of 33.6. So our first chance to see, and exactly as your point, I was going to say, these little stumbles there, aren't they, as they get out.
And Max looking back exactly as we thought he might do. That's Menno Koolhaas, I think, in 3rd, Martin van Riel in 4th. I think that might have been Tyler. We'll have a quick check when that comes up. Tyler Mislachuk, 5th place there.
Nice little belly flop there from Leo
Yeah, Tyler
Bichette.
Mislachuk has made that group. So that's a group of 6. Then at the front of the next group, that's Justus Nieschlag. We've got a couple of lost hats in there. Antonio Benite Lopez, he doesn't have a hat on anymore. That's the red hat there of Hayden Wild. So there's only about 8 seconds separating the back of the front group and the start of the second, but that is crucial.
So Vincent Luis makes his way onto the exit. And we're going to go down and join Jan and Alex, and they're going to see these guys come through.
As we see our first men coming on, Vincent Louis, the man we expected to come out, the coolest man of triathlon coming out, followed by Max Stapley right up the front, and that looks like Martin van Riel, our champion, our 3rd. I would not have put money on that. He has obviously got a full Ironman in his legs as he comes out ahead of Menno Koolhaas, one of the favored men for the swim right here. Leo Berger out next, another French powerhouse. Tyler Mislachuk, one of our men who races the best in the heat that I know of. Everybody looks super smooth, happy to get that ice that they all keep in their helmets. The group of 10 has split into a group of 6 as we see Rico Bogan coming out next. This man is obviously known to struggle in the heat, but I think he's worked on it very much. Followed by the German trio. We've got Mika Nude and we've got Justus Nieschlag coming out. Ahead of Jelle Geens, one of the big favorites, and right in front of us is none other than Hayden Wild, Olympic silver medalist. Greg Barnaby out there, Yannick Stoffler. It's on, it's close. It's much closer than what we saw the field bunched up being yesterday.
You really want to make sure you get out of that drafting zone. Technically, once the light flashes, you actually have to pass. I think in the early stages, the referees will be lenient, but Hayden's got to really watch out here. If he doesn't go past, that is technically a penalty.
Because he's gone backwards
there,
hasn't
got to go
he?
all the way past, and that is the trickiness of these big packs. If there's 10 athletes, you know, in theory, there's a minimum of 200 meters to the front, and you have got 45 seconds to pass each of these athletes. You can see Hayden's light has just stopped flashing there.
Oh, there he is again. Still not happy. Moments
Not happy,
like
is
this,
he?
though, perhaps indicative of him learning a new sport, middle distance triathlon.
Well, what happened here is that the athlete in front of him, so that's
Martin, isn't it?
it looks like Martin is slowing down, and he wasn't happy because he feels that he needs to pass. And Martin obviously used the moment to sit up. Can we just talk for a second about how good it is that Martin van Riel is in this front pack? I did not expect to see much of him today. He will be riding to power, he would be riding to numbers. You can see his GPS computer between his arms there. And he, oh,
Nice
little smile, he's looking good.
Just that little bump, isn't it? Going over there.
Just
And
going
off
over
it
there.
pops, yeah.
And what we saw in the earlier pictures is that he was using these bottles, the T100 bottles, very early on.
Bottle there, but I don't think he's got any other bottles.
He does.
the
He's
bike.
got a bottle inside
Oh, sorry, I
his
beg your
frame
pardon,
right
there you
there as
go.
he's taking a sip. But
Just
he's not giving up,
overtaking Yuri there,
and he's
isn't he?
just overtaking Yuri and holding his own.
He also is based now Gold Coast, Australia. His partner is from Australia, so he moved over there late last year. It's actually why he couldn't be with us in Dubai. He got offered a wild card quite last minute to come and be part of that grand final in Dubai last year, but he was midway through emigrating when he got the call, and so it was just a bit too difficult to manage, so he had to pass up on that opportunity.
Greg Barnaby, the Ironman Pro Series champion from last year. He took the overall title in the end. Probably not quite the same level of competition as what he's used to from that kind to the T100, but he's made the transition, which is great to see him stepping up and facing the very, very best in the world on a consistent basis.
Having a great showing here today so far, though. 7th place and a minute 40 down, riding with the likes of Leo Berger. Like, some of us questioned his decision to come across the T100. I love that he's done this and come across here to such a high caliber, steep quality field.
All right, 300 meters, the gap he's put in. We're going to go down to Alex, who's in transition.
Yes, Rico Bogan emerging into T2, and Kyle is alongside. You were just saying that you were absolutely delighted for him today in the performance that Rico's putting in.
Yeah, he's had an absolute incredible bike leg here, and obviously he's got a lead, which is, you want the wind in your ears, you know, you can get that adrenaline, you get the crowds really coming after you, and yeah, you're on the front foot starting this run.
Hayden's got the gloves off as he spins round and prepares to get the shoes on to go running. Tell us about the way that you approach T2. You've put so much into it at this point. 2 down, 1 to go. What are you thinking? What is your process?
Yeah, it's like the first time you get a real indicator of the damage that's been done on the bike. You step off and your legs start running, and sometimes you start cramping, sometimes you feel awesome. And yeah, these guys obviously heading out, the damage might have already been done on the bike. Their core temperature might have already gotten really high, and you know, the core temperature only goes one way when you start running, and so limiting that. I think taking a couple of seconds in the aid stations just to slow down, put ice down your suit, and just mitigate those heat. They've got their metrics, they've got their data of what they've been training for. You know, they might be saying my theoretical race pace is 3:10, 3:15 per kilometre, but when you put it in these conditions that you haven't experienced all winter, you know, you might start running and you're running 4-minute Ks. And yeah, I was just talking to Lucy Charles-Barclay just 5 minutes ago, and she was saying yesterday, you know, she said, am I okay? Am I actually okay? You know, it's like that's the thing that's going through her head. It's, you know, what damage are you sort of doing to yourself? And what my mental cues last year was just keep going, just keep moving forward, just keep putting one foot in front of the other, and it was people were dropping like flies all around me, and I think, you know, I picked up another place in the last 200 meters last year.
See a little replay now of Rico Bogan entering the second transition zone. And what happens here? He almost came off the bike. He loses a bottle in the process.
I think this is where we're going to see, he gave him a little fist pump as well. There we go. That was a little recognition of the efforts that they put in together on the bike and the lead they built. A little bit of sportsmanship before it's, right, let's see the best man on the run.
As we see the two going shoulder to shoulder, Hayden taking the lead for the first time in this run. Mika Nut was 1:44 back. He's almost doubled his deficit. That shows you the pace that Hayden Wild is laying down here. Leo Berger at 2:46, he was 2:11 down, so he's only lost half a minute, but this is in 5K. Hayden Wiles is putting down a ferocious pace as we see.
I think they took Mika Nut by surprise there.
Backwards.
But it's so hard to know. I mean, that was just my first observation. Here we go, and now he's stopping.
No,
I think he's at, yeah, suit's coming off. Or just letting some air in, perhaps. Yeah, this is never nice to see.
This is right opposite the spectator zone as well, where his wife would be watching.
This is Martin van Riel. Just watch his footing. I think he takes a small trip.
Yep, doesn't realize that's a little speed bump.
Saved it. I think he was taking a drink at the same time as well, so a little bit of multitasking and nearly cost him a trip onto the concrete.
Well, here's someone we haven't seen an awful lot of so far today, but he's having a fantastic race. He's now sitting in third. Leo Berger. Leo Berger is going to make the move, and at this point in the race, he's going to go into second.
Quick tap on the back there from Leo, just a little bit of a encouragement to Rico, but now Rico's challenge is, can he hold on to a podium place? And that challenge is getting tougher by the second. We have got Mathis Margirier not far behind, and the likes of Martin van Riel and Gregory Barnaby, who are running together, super strong as well. And here he is. He has broken away from Mathis Margirier at the start of this third lap, and he is clear into third place. Just phenomenal, Jan.
Absolutely phenomenal.
These are tough conditions out here in Singapore as we get another view of those brilliant signs from
Oh,
Hayden.
look.
Takes the time to high five and say thank you to the fans who've come out to support him here in Singapore. So Hayden Wilde takes the applause and will step on to the blue carpet here in Singapore. He fought so hard on that bike. He managed to stretch out the lead on the run, which really cemented his dominance here in Singapore. He's weaving round to get as many high fives as possible. And the Olympic silver medalist has made his way onto the T100. Hayden Wilde, you're a T100 winner. Congratulations.
Taking his time to take the tape, but there he goes. He's arrived with a bang, and he is delighted, as he should be, to do so.
It's great to see Leo Berger with us on the T100 for 2025.
And again, another hotshot contract. What an addition he has been to this racing. Absolutely loving the contribution of these hotshots so far, mixing it up, showing what these short course guys can do.
So Martin van Riel making his way on the blue carpet. I think that grimace has just turned into a smile. What a race from Martin van Riel.
Yuri Kulin crossing the finish line in 4th place. He is delighted, as he should be. That was quite the comeback there on that run.
Through today. Let's recap, shall we, the results and have a look at where the standings leave us for the race to Qatar. Confirmation of Hayden Wilde winning, Leo Berger in 2nd and Martin van Riel in 3rd. He takes the final podium place. Yuri Kulin, last year's champion, manages 4th. Gregory Barnaby of Italy in 5th. And Matthias Margerier in 6th. Antonio Benito Lopez in 7th. Sam Long in 8th. A decent result from him, given his situation or coming out last of the swim. Mika Newt in 9th and Rico Bogan in 10th. And just confirmation there of the fastest sectors. And Hayden Wilde with the fastest run of anyone. Rico Bogan with the fastest bike of anyone. And just confirmation, it was Vincent Luis with the fastest swim. He was absolutely mighty out in the Marina Bay. And this, obviously, because we've only had one race, leaves us with where we stand in the race to Qatar. 35 points for Hayden Wilde. He'll go home very, very happy with his haul here. Leo Berger in 2nd with 29 and 26 for Martin van Riel.